So how did I help you understand the offer process and feel confident in submitting offers?
That was a little backwards and forth for me. I don't know because sometimes the buyers don't. I mean, the sellers don't want to budge when you asking for a certain amount or when you want them to go down a certain amount opposed to the things that's in the house or what it may actually be valued at. So you presented me with the numbers. We were able to go over there, and you was able to make sense of why they were asking for the amount they were asking for, or why it didn't make sense for them to ask for the amount of money that they were asking for.
What's up, YouTube? Dedric, your realtor here with another video. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna get into this next step. The first time home buyer guide. Okay, Ms. Angela. So before working with me, how did you feel about putting in offers on houses? Nervous, confused?
Unaware where to start, the process, like how to even start with attempting to put an offer in. So that process was a bit confusing for me.
In the offers, what stood out the most about how I handled negotiating or getting the offer accepted?
Too easy. The concessions, the closing costs, the interest rate, and to me, those were the main three things that I was concerned about.
This is step, what we on? Four? Step four. Step four, to me, once again, another simple, short step. Inspections. Inspections. Google, ChatGPT, do whatever you need to do to find out information. Or you can watch this video here and get a little specs that I'm coming off the top of the dome with my history of doing this for like 6+ years. Inspections. Inspection. This is very important for the buyer. The seller, they don't care about this. This is it. You know what I'm saying? So inspection process. Now with the offers accepted, and under contract, we have to get an inspection. Okay. I'm going to say you should always get an inspection, but you don't have to. You don't have to, but I recommend getting an inspection. If you can't afford it, it's tough to say. I mean, I'm gonna be real, and I'm gonna always tell my clients to get an inspection. But if you don't get one, you wouldn't be the first person. You ain't gonna be the last person. That's just the real with it. I'm always recommend getting one because, as my job as an agent, I'm to protect you and whatever you're buying. If I'm buying a property, that's different. But this is you buying the house, so I'm going to say, hey, go ahead, get that inspection for sure. Always get an inspection. What this process look like, and it's another thing. Man. A lot of people think that they're stuck in the deal after the offer is accepted. Like they can't get, and there's some properties that on here that say, oh, we're not going to allow you to see the property because we got tenants unless we have an accepted offer. You get that too. So sometimes you have to have an accepted offer anyway. Some people want to see that you are a serious buyer. In the inspection process, you can always cancel a deal. If you go in this house and you see a big hole in the wall because you wasn't able to see the pictures, you can be like, I don't want to do this. And you don't have to pay any money back or anything like that. So, another thing. Inspection / earnest money deposit. Almost forgot about that. Earnest money deposit is needed. That EMD, that money is your money. It's like a security deposit when you're renting a house, right? Basically, you put this money in to an escrow account. I usually give it to the title company because that's who's going to close anyway. So with this particular transaction, the bank has their title company they work with, and they prefer we work with them. So she was to send that money over to the title company, like and it has to be within like 48 hours, always. So that was something else I almost forgot. The EMD is needed. So and I believe I usually put my EMDs for $1,000, $1,500, whatever, depending on the price of the house. But that money is still yours. It will be used at closing. Don't hurt yourself over it. The EMD is used to protect the seller in case of something happens where you just say, hey, I don't want this house anymore because the carpet is blue. Well, that's not what, that's not what, we did all this transaction, all this time we put in, we passed inspection. Once we pass inspection, that's pretty much it. We are in this deal. And that's what I was getting to. We are in this deal after inspection. Once inspection passes, we are here. We cannot leave this deal unless something horrific goes on that we can't control, that's out of control. Once we pass inspection, we locked in. And that's what I was getting to with the houses you can't see before, because they're tenant occupied or whatever. They want to accept an offer first. They can always be canceled due to inspection, because if you don't like something, but once we pass that inspection period, then there's a problem. Usually, like I said, usually it's like 7 business days inspection period. So yes, so this inspection period, with this particular client here, she's very on top of everything. We had an inspection. The water was off. God, I did not know. So the furnace was on, hot water tank was in, but the water was off. Now, that's crazy to me. Usually it's the other way around. The water was off. So the inspector came out, looked at everything, gave us a report, sent it within a good amount of time, but he had to come back out and inspect for the water issue. And I promise y'all, this process can be like that, because we was able to get the inspection done at a great time, but the water wasn't on. So we had to come back out and look at it. And sometimes it costs money to tap and come back out and stuff like that. So, but anyway, the inspection process, he came through, inspected the house, and there's always going to be so much wrong with this. Us as agents, we sit here, we probably hate the inspection part, because to me, there's no such thing as a good inspection. Like, I've never seen one. I'm just saying that, like, it's always going to be like issues with a house. And I think some people will try to say, hey, it's not good or bad. I mean, to me, it is good. It's always bad. Like, because it's information that the buyer is getting that's going to say this list of things is wrong with a house. But I'm just going to tell y'all ahead, don't be discouraged by the inspection. The inspection is meant to tell you what's wrong with this house, so you can know before you buy it. And you got to think about, these houses been sitting here since 1960, 1970, man. That's years. So it's going to be things wrong with a house. But you still need to remember, this is a house. You're living here. Your memories here it's more than just buying an item. This is a property you're buying. You're buying equity. Like, all of this comes with this. So yeah, the inspections gonna give you a list of things, but take it with a grain of salt. Those major things, those roofs, those basements, those foundation, all that type of stuff, those are the things you need to pay attention to. If those things are good, then all the other stuff, take with a grain of salt. That squeaky door, that that leaky faucet, please just take it with a grain of salt, because I guarantee you, buying the house now versus buying it 5 years from now, you probably been saved plethora of money. And that's just my opinion. Inspection process. So we went through, she got inspection. And now, when we was doing the inspection, we noticed the backup, and like downstairs, like it seemed like it might have backed up. The inspection said that was one of the big things. So she decided herself, she wanted to get a scope in the actual sewer, which, listen, I do recommend inspecting your house thoroughly, always. I would never say I'm against that. As you can say, this buyer has went upon herself to get it scoped out. And hey, first time buying a house, you're going to be here a minute. If that, might be here forever, never know. And to know what's going on is a smart move. So I commend her on that. Yeah, man. And I was just talking to him. He said roots start up as a hair follicle. They start off that small, so they're going to be in there. They're going to be in there, and their roots in there. Of course, they everywhere. That's how it works. You can't stop it. So, yeah, that's that. Another tip. This is the smartest thing to do. A camera down there. They usually cost between like $200 to $300. Like I say, this is the most expensive purchase you're gonna make. So to spend that $300 to save yourself time and see what's going on before you even buy this, it's smart. It's very smart. I recommend that too. But I'm going to be honest with y'all and say this. They're all like I've learned this even with the inspector, the sewer inspector. He told me that Detroit, a lot of houses, they have the way they used to build the pipes back in the day. They like use horse something, and they meshed it together so it is not fully in the way it's put it like this. The way it's sealed, follicle, and they say roots are the size of hair follicles. So the way the way it's sealed, a root can get in there and can grow. So there's roots in everybody's Detroit. I guarantee you, there's roots in everyone's lines in the back. Sorry, y'all. They here. All you can do is get it cleaned out. Now, some people, and I was talking to him, he like some people got to get it done once a year. Some people got to get it done once every 20 years. He said, but that's just part of this. Unless you get it something rebuilt all the way, and it's cheap, but it's cheaper to just pay $200 to get that for the whole year, than to deal with getting it rebuilt. And that's just, if it's your forever home, then oh yeah, for sure, that's a good investment. But even if it is your forever home, $200 every year versus $10,000 or whatever, 30, whatever much it can be to break up all that stuff. Trust me. Keep those boys in business. Shout out to you, man. I forgot his name, but I got his card. So inspections are done. And we are going on to the next process of this home buyer. So this was inspections / EMD deposit. Let's keep going. Let's go.